Valmiki Ramayana, Bala Kanda, Book 1, Canto 45, Sarga 45, Chapter 45. The Quest of the Amrit. High and more high their wonder rose, as the strange story reached its close. And thus with Lakshman Rama best of Raghu's sons the saint addressed. Most wondrous is the tale which thou hast told of heavenly Ganga, how from realms above descending she flowed through the land and filled the sea. In thinking o'er what thou hast said, the night has like a moment fled, whose hours in musing have been spent upon thy words most excellent. So much, O holy sage, thy lore has charmed us with this tale of yore. Day dawned, the morning rites were done, and the victorious Raghu's son addressed the sage in words like these, rich in his long austerities. The night is past, the morn is clear, told is the tale so good to hear. Now o'er that river let us go, three-pathed, the best of all that flow. This boat stands ready on the shore to bear the holy hermit's oar, who of thy coming warned in haste, the barge upon the bank have placed. And Kaushik's son approved his speech, and moving to the sandy beach, placed in the boat the hermit band, and reached the river's further strand. On the north bank their feet they set, and greeted all they met. On Ganga's shore they lighted down, and saw Vishada's lovely town. Thither the princess by his side, the best of holy hermits hied. It was a town exceeding fair, that might with heaven itself compare. Then suppliant palm to palm applied, famed Rama asked his holy guide, O best of hermits, say what race of monarchs rules this lovely place? Dear master, let my prayer prevail, for much I long to hear the tale. Moved by his words, the saintly man Vishala's ancient tale began. List, Rama, list, with closest heed, the tale of Indra's wondrous deed. And mark me as I truly tell what here in ancient days befell. Ere Krita's famous age had fled, strong were the sons of Diti bred, and Aditi's brave children too were very mighty, good and true. The rival brothers, fierce and bold, were sons of Kashyap, lofty-souled. Of sister mothers born they weed, brood against brood in jealous pride. Once, as they say, band met with band, and joined in awful council planned to live unharmed by age and time, immortal in their youthful prime. Then this was, after due debate, the counsel of the wise and great, to churn with might the milky sea, the life-bestowing drink to free. This planned, they seized the serpent king, Vasuki, for they churning string, and Mandara's mountain, for they pole, and churned with all they heart and soul. As thus 1,000 seasons through, this way and that the snake they drew, biting the rocks each tortured head, a very deadly venom shed. Thence bursting like a mighty flame, a pestilential poison came, consuming as it onward ran the home of God, the fiend, and men. Then all the suppliant gods in fear to Shankar's mighty Lord drew near. To Rudra, king of herds, dismayed, king of herds, dismayed. Save us, O save us, Lord, they prayed. Then Vishnu bearing shell and mace, and discus shoved his radiant face, and thus addressed in smiling glee the trident wielding deity. What treasure first the gods upturn from troubled ocean as they churn? Should, for thou art the eldest, be conferred all best of gods on thee. Then come, and for thy birthright sake, this venom as thy first fruits take. He spoke and vanished from their sight, when Shiva saw their wild affright, and heard his speech by whom is born the mighty bow of bending horn. The poison flood at once he coughed, as 'twere the Amrit's heavenly draught. Then from the gods departing went Shiva, the Lord preeminent. The host of gods and Asurs still kept churning with one heart and will. But Mandara's mountain, whirling round, pierced to the depths below the ground. Then gods and bards in terror flew to him who mighty Madhu slew. Help of all beings, more than all, the gods on thee for aid may call. Ward off, almighty armed, our fate, and bear up Mandara's threatening weight. Then Vishnu, as their need was sore, the semblance of a tortoise wore, and in the bed of ocean lay, the mountain on his back to stay. Then he, the soul pervading all, whose locks in radiant tresses fall. One mighty arm extended still, and grasped the summit of the hill. So ranged among the immortals he joined in the churning of the sea. 1,000 years had reached their close, when calmly from the ocean rose the gentle sage with staff and can, Lord of the art of healing man. Then, as the waters foamed and boiled, as churning still the immortals toiled, of winning face and lovely frame, forth 60 million fair ones came. Born of the foam and water, these were aptly named Apsarasis. Each had her maids, the tongue would fail, so vast the throng, to count the tale. But when no god or Titan would a wife from all that multitude, refused by all, they gave their love in common to the gods above. Then from the sea, still vexed and wild, rose Sura, Varun's maiden child. A fitting match she sought to find, but Diti's sons her love declined. They kinsmen of the rival brood to the pure maid in honor sued. Hence those who loved that nymph so fair, the hallowed name of Suras bear. And Asuras are the Titan crowd, her gentle claims who this allowed. Then from the foamy sea was freed Uchai the generous steed, and Kaustuba of gems the gem, and Soma, moon god, after them. At length, when many a year had fled, up floated on her lotus bed a maiden fair and tender-eyed, in the young flush of beauty's pride. She shone with pearl and golden sheen, and seals of glory stamped her queen. On each round arm glowed many a gem, on her smooth brows a diadem. Rolling in waves beneath her crown, the glory of her hair flowed down. Pearls on her neck of price untold, the lady shone like burnished gold. Queen of the gods, she leapt to land, a lotus in her perfect hand. And fondly of the lotus sprung, the lotus bearing Vishnu clung. Her gods above and men below, as beauty's queen and fortune know, gods, titans, and the minstrel train still churned and wrought the troubled main. At length the prize so madly sought, the Amrit to their sight was brought. For the rich spoil twixt these and those, a fratricidal war arose, and host gainst host in battle set. Aditi's sons and deities met, united with the giants' aid. Their fierce attack the Titans made, and widely rage for many a day that universe astounding fray. When wearied arms were fain to strike, and ruin threatened all alike, Vishnu with art's elusive aid the Amrit from their sight conveyed. The best of beings smote his foes, who dared his deathless arm oppose. Ye Vishnu, all-pervading God, beneath his feet the Titans trod. Aditi's race, the sons of light, slew Diti's brood in cruel fight. Then, town-destroying, Indra gained his empire and in glory reigned o'er the three worlds with bard and sage, rejoicing in his hermitage. Jai Valmiki Ramayana. Beautiful, beautiful description of the churning of the ocean of milk by Suras and Asuras, demigods and demons. Footnotes. The first or golden age. So the churning of the milk ocean happened at the end of the golden age or Satya Yuga. Diti and Aditi were wives of Kashyapa, and mothers respectively of titans and gods, demons and demigods. One of the seven seas surrounding as many worlds in concentric rings. Milky Ocean. Shankar and Rudra are names of Shiva. Sharigin, literally carrying a bow of horn, is a constantly recurring name of Vishnu. The Indians also therefore knew the art of making bows out of the horns of antelopes or wild goats, which Homer ascribes to the Trojans of the heroic age. Schlegel. Dhanvantari, the physician of the gods. The poet plays upon the word and fancifully derives it from Apsu. Apsara, Apsu. The locative case plural of ap, water, and rasa, taste. The word is probably derived from up, water, and sri, to go, and seems to signify inhabitants of the water, nymphs of the stream, or as Goldstucker thinks, Dict SV. These divinities were originally personifications of the vapors which are attracted by the sun and form into mist or clouds. Sura, the feminine, comprehends all sorts of intoxicating liquors, many kinds of which the Indians from the earliest times distilled and prepared from rice, sugarcane, the palm tree, and various flowers and plants. Nothing is considered more disgraceful among Orthodox Hindus than drunkenness. And the use of wine is forbidden not only to Brahmanas but the two other orders as well. So it clearly appears derogatory to the dignity of the gods to have received a nymph so pernicious, pernicious, who ought rather to have been made over to the Titans. However, the etymological fancy has prevailed. The word Sura, a god, is derived from the indeclinable Svar, heaven, Schlegel. Literally, high-eared, the horse of Indra, Uchaishrava. Compare the production of the horse from the sea by Neptune. Compare the production of the horse from the sea by Neptune. And Kaustuba, the best of gems that burns with living light upon Lord Vishnu's breast, churning of the ocean. Amazing. So many things to talk about, but first of all, Mr. Schlegel and Mr. Rolf Griffith. It's not fancy. It's not fancifully. It's not just poetic plays. It's not Indians. It's ancient Vedic Aryan civilization. Okay, it's a history. Multidimensional, high-dimensional living entities called demigods and titans or demons. Way beyond us Kali Yugans. Anyway, amazing. This chapter is loaded with so much information. So much information. Called The Quest of the Amrit, the churning of the ocean of milk. Ciao.